Good morning, everyone. This is your English sir. I'm very happy to present my English lessons through this video. As we all know, we all are in difficult times due to the lockdown, but still we have another alternative way of teaching, that is the virtual teaching method. I'm glad that you all had a very long vacation. I hope all of you were very safe at home and also be very safe after this. This particular year, 12th standard is going to be a challenging year. So we have to face every challenges which comes across our way, and we have to overcome them. Uh, Today onwards, I'll be starting my English classes. Presently, I'll be sending all recorded videos since I'm in the 12th standard paper valuation. But after the valuation gets over, I'll try to meet everyone through Zoom app live live video conference. So coming back to our syllabus, English, like 11th standard, in 12th standard, you will be having 6 units. As you all know, each unit will have a prose, poetry, non-detail, and other additional parts such as grammar, reading skill, and writing skill. So these are the components of each unit which you will be aware since you had the same components in 11th standard as well. So 12th standard is a very important year for each and every student, and whatever you have done in the past years, the result will be seen in 12th standard. All your effort which you put for so many years, the outcome of 12th standard is very important. Now talking about English, not just preparing yourself for examination, the communicative aspect is also very important, which we'll be concentrating more once you come back to the classes. So today, to begin with, let me start the first unit. So this unit, we have a prose lesson titled Two Gentlemen of Verona. We have a poetry with the title The Castle, and we have a non-detail with the title God sees the truth but waits. So these are the prose, poetry, and the non-detail which you are going to learn for this particular year. And along with that, you will have grammar, model auxiliaries, and direct to indirect speech. So this particular month, so we'll be learning unit number 1. So today, let me give an introduction for the first lesson, Two Gentlemen of Verona. This particular prose lesson is written by A.J. Cronin. I think you got the title, Two Gentlemen of Verona, and the author name is A.J. Cronin. I hope all of you would have got your English textbooks, and it's very important you have your English textbook when you are watching this video, so that you can follow them in your textbook. Whatever is presented in the video, you can follow them in the textbook. So before I go to the prose lesson, let's know about the author first. A.J. Cronin. He was a Scottish, that is, he belonged to Scotland. He was a Scottish novelist. Uh, he was also a very well-known story writer, and he got inspiration from the early plays of William Shakespeare. So he was a great admirer of Shakespeare's plays. So this is what a small gist about the author. And looking at the title, Two Gentlemen of Verona. So Verona is a place in Italy, and gentleman. So gentleman. Now, whom do you call as a gentleman? So a man who has some special qualities, something like sacrificing qualities, or very manly. Manly doesn't mean being bold alone. Being having a good temperament, or so many other qualities comes to your mind when you call somebody as a gentleman. You don't label someone as a gentleman that much easily. So this is about two gentlemen who lived in Verona. So let us see who are they. So before I start this lesson, so this particular lesson tells something about life. So when you look at our life, Our life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes it gives us pleasant surprises, and sometimes it gives us rude shocks as well. But how we face and overcome each and every situation, that is what makes you a gentleman. That's what we try to learn in this lesson. So, this first particular lesson, the two characters of this lesson are the whom the author calls as the gentleman are Nicola and Jacopo, which you can find in your textbook. The names of you can underline and keep in, and you can spell also properly. Nicola and Jacopo. So these are the two gentlemen here. Actually, these two are brothers. The two gentlemen of Verona. This is the story of two young boys. In fact, they are young boys, Nicola and Jacopo. The story recounts how the two brothers devoted themselves to the hardships of their life, and they badly needed money to overcome something in their own family, especially for the medical treatment of their only sister. So, what are all the ways they tried to make money, and how difficult it was for them to make money to save their sister? So, this is one of the important things which you're going to see in this lesson about Nicola and Jacopo. And what is wrong with the sister? Her sister was afflicted by tuberculosis. So, tuberculosis was a deadly disease during the time when the author wrote this lesson. Actually, she had tuberculosis on her spine. So, this is the problem which uh, the sister was facing. So, now you knew about the character Jacopo, Nicola, and her sister. Now, the story starts with the author was on his way to Verona. In a taxi, he was traveling. On the way, he meets two young boys. They stop. The narrator, the author is the narrator, stop. On the outskirts of Verona, they are yet to enter in. So, in the outskirts of Verona, they come, two young boys. Actually, he's inside his car, and these two brothers come and meet him. What were they doing? They were selling wild strawberries, and they came closer to his car. The elder brother was Nicola, and the younger one was Jacopo. The elder brother Nicola, he was 13 years old, while the younger brother Jacopo was nearly 12 years. Only 1 year difference between the two brothers. Both were in rags. Both didn't have good dress to wear. Torn cloths is what they were wearing. But the author, is the narrator, of course, the author, he was strangely, for some reason, he was strangely attracted towards them. The earnestness in their eyes, something very eager in their eyes, touched the narrator. He bought. So, and actually, they were selling a basket full of wild strawberries. The author bought their biggest basket. He bought the entire basket. Though the driver stopped him from getting, saying that there are better strawberries sold inside Verona. And still, we are in the outskirts of Verona. So he tried to stop, but something attracted the author, and he bought the entire basket. And he happened to move in his car. Next day morning, the narrator happened to come out because he has come there as a visitor. The narrator saw both the brothers bending over shine boxes. They were shining all the shoes on the way in the public square. In the public square, square is a place, public is a place where there are four roads. The place. In the middle, he could find those two brothers, Jacob and Nicola, shining all the shoes. They not only picked up fruits, but also did many other things to earn a living. At that particular age, 13 years and 12 years, they were working very hard. They were selling fruits, and early in the morning, they were shining all the shoes. Often they showed visitors round the town to not only that, often they showed visitors, whoever visited, like tourist guide. They took them around the town, especially the most important places. In that places where the Juliet's tomb and other places, they were like tourist guide as well. They proved extremely useful to the narrator and driver Lugi, and the driver's name was Lugi. And the narrator came to understand that they were good tourist guide as well. So for some reason, the narrator thought they were the right people to guide them to see or meet different places. So they could buy a pack of American cigarettes or get seats for the opera. So all this thing they thought these children will help them. They could be relied upon to satisfy their needs. The author was thinking they shined shoes, sold fruits, and hawked newspapers as well. They were selling newspapers, took tourists around the city, and did all odd jobs for others to earn money. So they were doing multiple work. So one particular thing came to the author's mind was, why were they working so hard at this particular age? Why were they so particular about earning so much of money? Why did they need that much money at this particular age? So one night, as he was staying in Verona one night, the narrator saw both the brothers resting on a stone pavement on the footpath. They were sitting on the stone pavement. Jacob, the younger brother's head, was resting upon his elder brother's shoulders. He was lying on the younger brother's shoulders. He was asleep. Jacob was sleeping. And Nicola was waiting. It was almost the middle of the night. It was nearly midnight. Nicola told them they were waiting for the last bus from Padua. So the narrator came, the author came and asked him, what were you doing in the middle of the night in this particular place? He said he was waiting for the bus which was to come from a place called Padua. They could sell all their papers. They were having all the newspapers with them, and they said they could sell all the newspapers once the bus reaches the town. They could sell all the papers. The narrator thought they might earn quite a lot by doing so much of work. They might be earning more. They worked so hard and ate so little. From their particular images, it looked very clear that they ate very little, but they earned more money. They spent nothing on the clothes. That's very the kind of rags which they were wearing. It showed that they were not selling any money on their clothes. The narrator thought that perhaps they were saving the money to emigrate to America, whether they wanted to migrate to America and become a citizen there. Are they trying to earn that much money? Do they need that much money for that purpose? But they had other plans, which the author didn't know. The author was to leave Verona on Monday. So almost his trip to Verona was getting over, and he was about to leave to Verona on Monday. He asked the brothers, so only one day or the next day was Monday and he was about to leave from Verona. He asked the brothers if he could do anything for them before leaving. He asked them, see, you are working so hard. Think, do you expect me to do something for you? He tried to ask him. Before leaving, Jacopo told that every Sunday they made a visit to the country, to Polenta. They said every Sunday we'll go to a countryside, a small village. And the name of that village is Polenta. That was 30 kilometers from there. Usually, how do they go? Is they hire bicycles to go there every Sunday. He asked the narrator if he could send them there in his car. He asked, if you would like to do something to us, can you take us through your car to Polenta? Said so. His driver Luigi has taken the Sunday off. He has taken Sunday as a holiday to rest his driver. So the narrator thought he himself will drive them to Polenta. The following afternoon, that day afternoon, they drove to the tiny village named Polenta. The author, the narrator himself was the driver. The two brothers came out of the car and went towards. So when they reached Polenta, they came out of the car and went towards a red roofed villa, one house which was with the red roof. And they got down from the car and they went inside. They promised to be back within an hour. They told the author that they'll be back within an hour. The narrator found that a grill slide entrance. The entrance was sliding, the grill was sliding. He determinedly rang the bell. He rang the house bell. A pleasant looking, when he rang the bell, a pleasant looking young woman appeared in white uniform of a trained nurse. So she looked like a nurse who was in training. She led him into the hospital. So actually that villa, it was like a temporary hospital. She took the author because already the two brothers were already entered inside, and it took let them the nurse, the training nurse, took the author inside the hospital. She stopped at the door of a little cubicle. So she just stopped at the entrance. She asked him to look through the glass partition, not to go inside. The glass partition was in a window. She just asked, just view through that window. The two brothers, what did he see through that window glass? The two brothers were seated at the bedside of the girl. A girl was lying there, and two brothers happened to sit near the bedside of the girl, and she was about 20 years elder to them. Both of them. One Nicola was 13, Jacob was 12, and the girl seemed to be 20 years old. She resembled her brothers. So from that he understood that the girl was their sister. The nurse asked the narrator to go in. He asked him to have a view, and then she thought she could permit him to go inside. Ask the narrator if you would like to, you can go inside. The nurse asked the narrator to go in. The name of the girl, that is their sister's name, was Lucia, which you can see in your textbook, Lucia. Lucia would be pleased to see him, so she'll be very happy to see him. The narrator did not want to intrude upon that happy family party. The narrator, the author, thought it looked like a family reunion. And he understood that only once in a week they joined together and they discussed something. He thought, let him not be an intruder in that family union. He begged the nurse to tell him all she knew about those boys. And he requested the nurse to tell every detail about those two boys. Nicola, the life of Nicola, the nurse happened to tell the problem which these two boys were facing and what was their family like, etc. etc. There she said, Nicola and Jacob were quite alone in the world. They were they were lonely. They didn't have anybody to support except their sister, Lucia. Their father was a widower. That means they lost their mother very early, and the father was living alone, looking after those three children. He was a well-known singer in that particular region, and he was killed in the early part of the war. And the father also, they lost their father because of the war at that time. So now they were without their parents. A bomb had destroyed their home, and they were thrown into the streets. And one bomb destroyed their house, and all the children were thrown into the streets. They rebuilt their house using the rubbles. Whatever left over, the bricks and other rubble which are left out, they tried to rebuild their houses. They suffered horribly without their parents. They faced starvation. They didn't have any food and were exposed to cold winter, and it was winter, and they were exposed. They suffered like anything during this winter time. They hated the Germans who brought all these troubles on them. It was the war with the Germans which affected them, and they hated the Germans. The boys served as secret agents. Sometimes they were working as secret agents and carried messages about movement of German troops to freedom fighters. And through that, they were making a livelihood. They were working as secret agents even at that age. Whatever information they got about the German troops through some freedom fighters, they passed it to their countrymen. When the war was over, they came to their beloved sister. Once the war was over, they came to see their beloved sister. They found her suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. Then they found out that their sister was suffering from TB on the spine. The boys did all they could do for their ill sister. Whatever was possible through them to save their sister, they did everything. They brought her to the hospital and persuaded them to take her into the hospital. They brought her to a small hospital, and it looked very expensive, and now they have to take her to a better hospital. She made a lot of progress in the last 12 months. The last 12 months, Her health was improving. She was giving some positive signs which gave them more faith. It was hoped that one day she would walk and sing again. Like her father, she was also a good singer. Both his brothers believed that one day Lucia will walk and sing like her father. Lucia's brothers paid weekly bills regularly to this hospital. The narrator was shocked to know the story of the two boys and their sisters. He understood why they earned so much or why they suffered so much just because they wanted to save their only sister. To know the story of the two brothers and the sister. So he was very sad to know them. He hurriedly came out and waited until the boys rejoined him. He came to his car and waited until those two boys rejoined him. He drove them back to the city. He drove them back to the city in his car. They sat beside him and spoke nothing. This time they didn't speak a single word. Even he didn't say a word to them. Even he was quiet. He knew they would prefer to feel that they had safely kept their secret. What they would have thought was their problem was kept as a secret. Their devotion, their devotion, selfless action. They were never selfish about themselves at their age. That devotion to save their sister and sincerity touched his heart deeply. That sincerity, they were even ready to give their own self to the task which they were devoted. Their devotion to the cause brought a new nobility to human life. So when they looked at the life of these two brothers, the author felt that they gave a new hope for humanity. Humanity is still alive, it is not dead. Humanity is still alive. So the conclusion of this lesson, what we learn is the selfless hardships which was bravely faced by the two little brothers of Lucia teach us the true meaning of life. The story conveys the message that as long as people are willing to make their sacrifices for the well-being of others, there is hope for humanity. So such a wonderful lesson is what is written by A.G. Crowley. I think it is apt to the current situation as well. Humanity is what is going to win us in the fight against Corona as well. It is not being selfish or protecting our own self. We have to worry about the people around. Whatever God has given us is not meant only for us. Whatever we have in excess is to be served in this. We live in the service of humanity. So that was a great moral which we learned from this lesson. Still, I'll be posting few videos about this particular lesson. A drama has been taken by a particular group of students, uh, doing roles of Jacob or Nicola and the author A.J. Cronin as well, which I'll be posting along with this video, and you can watch them and you can understand this lesson better. Kindly uh, concentrate on the new vocabulary which you come across, new English words which you come across, underline them, learn the meaning of each and every word, every new word which you come across, and the words in the textbook glossary as well. So after you come to class, then I will tell you about the important words which are needed for the examination purpose. At present, you try to concentrate on developing your skills in English language. So once we finish all the prose lessons, then we can think about preparing ourselves for the exams. Hope this video will be very useful for you. I'll be meeting you once again with another new topic. Until then, this is your English sir, Saravana Chandar signing off. Goodbye.